Imagine waking up one day in a world where knowledge doesn't exist. No books, no teachers, no guidance, just confusion and ignorance. How would we differentiate truth from falsehood? How would we navigate life without understanding? This is exactly why seeking knowledge is not just encouraged in Islam. It is an obligation. The very first revelation given to Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, was not about prayer, fasting, or charity. It was a direct command from Allah, Iqra, read. A single word that changed the course of human history. It was a call to learn, to seek knowledge, to understand the world and our Creator. The importance of this command cannot be overstated. Islam does not limit knowledge to religious teachings alone, but embraces all forms of beneficial learning. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said, "Seeking knowledge is an obligation upon every Muslim." Ibn Majah. This statement alone makes it clear. Knowledge is not optional. It is a duty. But what kind of knowledge? Islam encourages us to study both religious and worldly knowledge because one helps us understand our faith and the other helps us contribute to society. Imagine a world without doctors, engineers, or scientists. The very advancements that make our lives easier exist because someone sought knowledge. Throughout Islamic history, scholars have led the way in every field. Ibn Sina revolutionized medicine. Al-Khwarizmi laid the foundation for modern mathematics. Al-Ghazali explored deep philosophical and spiritual concepts. Their contributions prove that true knowledge is a means of elevating humanity. They didn't just memorize information, they applied it, they questioned, they explored. And this is exactly what Islam teaches us, to seek knowledge that benefits both our souls and the world around us. But what happens when we ignore this duty? Ignorance leads to misguidance. Many people today follow traditions without questioning their origins. They confuse cultural practices with Islamic teachings. They believe in myths, spread misinformation, and sometimes, without realizing it, move further away from the truth. Without knowledge, we become easy prey for deception. This is why seeking knowledge is a protection. It shields us from confusion, from falling into error, from being led astray. Consider this. The difference between a knowledgeable person and an ignorant one is like the difference between light and darkness. Allah Himself raises the status of those who seek knowledge. The Quran states, "Allah will raise those who have believed among you and those who were given knowledge by degrees." Surah Al-Mujadila 58:11. This means that every step we take towards learning brings us closer to Allah. It is a journey that benefits us not only in this life, but in the hereafter as well. The Prophet, peace be upon him, assured us, "Whoever follows a path in pursuit of knowledge, Allah will make easy for him a path to paradise." Muslim. Imagine that. Every book you read, every question you ask, every effort you make to understand the truth, it all leads you closer to Jannah. Seeking knowledge is a form of worship. It is an act that earns rewards, opens doors to wisdom, and strengthens our faith. Now, let's talk about an important reality. We live in an era of unlimited access to information. With just a few clicks, we can read thousands of books, watch scholarly lectures, and explore centuries of Islamic wisdom. Yet many of us waste this opportunity. We scroll through social media for hours, consuming content that adds no value to our lives. We argue without knowledge, form opinions without research, and remain content in ignorance. But Islam teaches us differently. It teaches us to be seekers, to be thinkers, to be people who search for truth rather than blindly follow others. So, what can we do today to embrace this obligation? Start small. Read a verse of the Quran with meaning. Listen to a scholar who explains things clearly. Ask questions. Seek answers. Make learning a part of your daily routine. The pursuit of knowledge does not require you to be in a classroom. It is a lifelong journey. The greatest scholars of Islam didn't just learn for a few years and stop. They remained students until their last breath. Imagine the impact we could have if we all made the commitment to seek knowledge. Families would be guided by wisdom. Communities would thrive. The Ummah would be stronger, united by truth rather than divided by ignorance. Knowledge is power, and Islam has always been a religion of enlightenment. As Muslims, we are not meant to follow blindly. We are meant to understand, reflect, and apply wisdom. This is why seeking knowledge is not just a noble pursuit. It is a responsibility. It is what separates truth from falsehood, right from wrong, and progress from stagnation. The Quran repeatedly calls us to reflect, to think deeply, and to seek understanding. A strong Muslim is an informed Muslim. But here's a question. Do we truly value knowledge as much as we should? Do we prioritize learning about our faith? Do we dedicate time to understanding the Quran and Hadith? Or do we settle for surface-level information, never questioning, never seeking depth? The answer to these questions determines whether we are fulfilling our duty as Muslims. We must also remember that knowledge without action is meaningless. What good is wisdom if it is not applied? The best scholars were not just knowledgeable, they lived by what they learned. They were people of integrity, of humility, of sincerity. Knowledge should make us better, not arrogant. It should bring us closer to Allah, not make us feel superior to others. Let this be a reminder for all of us. Seeking knowledge is a lifelong commitment. It is an act of worship, a means of drawing closer to Allah, and a tool for bettering the world. If we want to strengthen our faith, if we want to be a source of guidance for others, if we want to make a difference, we must prioritize learning. Let's take action today. Pick up a book, listen to a scholar, seek out the truth. Let's be a part of the legacy of knowledge that Islam has always upheld. Let's strive to be among those whom Allah raises in rank because of their pursuit of understanding. And before you go, remember, this message needs to be shared. If you found this valuable, support our journey of spreading Islamic knowledge by subscribing to Islam 100. Like this video, share it with others, and let's build a community that values learning. Together, we can illuminate hearts and minds with the light of knowledge.